What is up, my friends? It is Thursday night, and you are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. This isn't going to be an opinion video tonight. It is going to be a transfer news roundup story. I want to know your take on the topics that I speak about. I'm going to be bringing you four different stories around four different players, all who've been linked to Liverpool Football Club with a view to a move either in January or in the summer, all from what I believe are fairly credible sources as well. So let me know your opinion, drop a like on the video, and of course, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you know what to do. We're closing in on 155,000 subscribers, a number I never thought we'd get to. So every single one of you that hit that subscribe button really do make a difference. Just a bit of a heads up as well. Tomorrow, Paddy is going to be doing a watch along of the Liverpool game against AC Milan from 2:30 over on the Anfield Agenda Twitch channel. You will, of course, be able to find the link for the channel in the description of this video, or you can just search us on Twitch, and I'm sure we will show up. At least I hope we show up. Anyway, so let's get straight into the stories today. The Times have credited Liverpool, Manchester United, and Chelsea with a battle to sign 18-year-old Borussia Dortmund striker Youssoupha Moukoko. Now, this isn't news in itself because we've known that Liverpool have been looking at this kid for a while, but I'd like to add a little bit to what the Times have written there. I'm not debating what they've said. I believe what they've said is absolutely spot on, but I think Barcelona's name could probably be thrown into that list as well. From what I've been reading and what I've been told about Spanish football and my contact in Spanish football, I think their name should be thrown into the mix as well. As far as I'm aware, and I'm open to be corrected on this one, he is only going to be due, or Borussia Dortmund are only going to be due like 250 grand, something like that, as compensation for his footballing education if he moves to a club outside of Germany. Much like when we sign players and stuff like that. If we sign them from an English club, then we have to go to a tribunal and agree a fee. If we sign them from a foreign club on a free contract, and I am talking about free contracts here, then, you know, the fee is usually somewhere around 250, 300 grand. So definitely a talent, definitely a lot of interest, but I'm not sure how big a priority he is for us and how hard we're going to push him. I honestly don't know. I'm not ruling it in or out. I just don't know. So maybe you've read something I haven't heard. And as always, would love to know in the comment section. Want to move on to the next story of the day here, and that is credited to DiMarzio. And it's Liverpool will battle Manchester United for the signing of PSV Eindhoven winger CODY GAKPO. Now, I've long known of United's interest, as you guys have as well. But I'm not 100% certain if we're in for the kid or not. I really don't know. I know that there's been a lot of talk that Pep Linders has been pushing Jurgen Klopp to really try and make a move here. But if we're being honest here and we're looking at areas that we need to strengthen, an attacking player will always welcome probably isn't at the top of the list for me. We need two midfielders minimum, potentially three. We need maybe a centre-back in my mind. And yeah, if an opportunity arises for a forward who we can get for a reasonable fee, so be it. But right now, if you're talking 40, 50 million quid, I would just say our priorities lie elsewhere. Of course, I would be happy to have him at the club. I'm not trying to say in any way, shape or form he isn't a good player, but no, I've sat here and I've accused United of signing players in the wrong positions. I've accused other clubs of doing it as well when priorities lie elsewhere. So for us, I just really wouldn't feel comfortable right now if Liverpool were looking to put their eggs in the transfer basket for a forward when we definitely need midfield players. Now, I know he's a winger, so you could make an argument that he could play in wide position in midfield, but ultimately he's an attacking wide player, really. So yeah, let me know your take on it. I'm not debating the kid's progress. I'm not debating the interest isn't there. I just don't think it's the right priority for us. And I think it's 40 or 50 million that maybe we could spend elsewhere where we need to strengthen first. So yeah, I know people are going to come, by the way, and people are going to say, but Craig, you know, we've got Luis Diaz out now until March. We've got Jota out till February. But I've always said Liverpool don't sign long-term solutions to short-term problems. But again, I wouldn't say no. So it's a really difficult one. But I'm going to move on anyway. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments section. Next story I want to bring up today is one that is entirely more realistic for me. And again, crediting to DiMarzio and LFC Transfer Room for sharing this one. It said, it would be a dream of Sofian Amrabat to play for Liverpool, and the players' agency, Stellar, is going to make an attempt to bring the Fiorentina midfielder to Anfield, with talks having already taken place. Now, we know the talks have already taken place because it's been widely reported that Jurgen Klopp met with his representatives before the World Cup, which I know I keep rabbiting on about this, but I'm so impressed at that scouting because I like to consider myself fairly well up on football. And I had no idea how good this guy was. I'd heard his name mentioned. I won't even lie and say I would have been able to tell you what club he played for. But I heard his name mentioned in circles as a midfielder who is potentially going to be available for a realistic sum and is well above the level of that with his performances. So when I seen him at the World Cup, I did get a bit of match of the day fever, and I am fully sold on him. And he's also bald, so that helped. You know, the more ball players at Liverpool, the better, because, as I'm sure you're aware, because you're watching Anfield Agenda, bald is better. That's not even up for debate, surely, at this point. So look, I don't know how close it is. I don't know what the number may be, although I've seen reports that Fiorentina certainly don't want to sell in the January market. Every player has a price, and Liverpool's need is certainly great in that position, that holding or that defensive midfield position. Nobody's trying to push Fabinho out of the club, but I think even the most hardcore of us would have to admit he hasn't been himself this season, folks, has he? And I know that Rebecca, his wife, has come out and said that he's not going anywhere, and that's good. I don't want to push Fabinho out of the club, but competition's never a bad thing. And the likes of Tyler Morton, Stefan Bajcetic, whilst promising, are still probably 2 or 3 years away from really being able to make a big difference in that Liverpool midfield. So I hope that we get more news on this, because he looks like the perfect fit. And as I think somebody said to me that Macron, the French president, went into the Moroccan dressing room after the semi-final loss to France and told Amrabat that he's been the best midfielder of the World Cup. And it's kind of hard to argue against that, to be fair. He's been quite simply sensational. So hopefully we get some positive news on this over the coming days and weeks. And finally, again, crediting to DiMarzio here in the Anfield Talker, the account we pulled this from, he said, if you ask me, Liverpool is a dream destination for Bellingham, and the price tag is 100 to 130 million euro. I know. We know, DiMarzio. Oh, we know, my friend. We absolutely know. It is. And I've said this all along. Apart from the bias of me being a Liverpool fan, apart from the bias of me being on this story really early, it is true. We are the best destination for Jude Bellingham to come right now. He could go to Real Madrid. He could go to Manchester City. But I don't think he'd get the adulation and that fulfillment that he wants from his career. So in my eyes, all these things are coming together. I've been told that another Liverpool content creator, I don't want to say any names because I don't want to start any rows, has said that it's very unlikely that Liverpool signed Jude Bellingham and that we should be looking elsewhere. I don't believe that to be the case, as I've said for 16 months now. In fact, I know it not to be the case. And Liverpool certainly do want to go after Bellingham, and we certainly are in the box seat to sign Bellingham. And it will come down to if we can loosen up the purse strings. Now, another thing I keep getting asked is, do you know if a takeover is close? Do you know if an investment's close? I don't. But what I'll add is, no news is not bad news. I would much rather see this played out behind the scenes privately and an investment or a sale or whatever FSG decide to do to take place, because that's the Liverpool way of doing things. So let's wait and see what happens. But that's it for me today, my friends. A reminder, Paddy will be live at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon if you want to join him for a watch-along of Liverpool's game against AC Milan. And then all roads lead to next Thursday. 1 week to go till the Reds are back in action against Manchester City in the League Cup. And of course, I'll be in a watch-along of it. A preview show, everything else in the week ahead. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. Much love to you from my family to yours, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.